Does evil die tonight? Let's talk about it. What is up, everybody? I am Mason from the Mockbuster YouTube channel, and today we will be taking a look at Halloween Kills on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray. So to start off, let's take a look at the packaging. It comes in this very nice looking slip cover. If you can't tell from the camera, it is embossed, debossed, and is very nice. My only gripe with this slip cover is that these aren't removable. I would like the fact that to have this extended cut with alternate edition to be removed, because it makes it look too much like a product. I liked the Halloween 2018 slipcover a lot more because it just says Halloween and it's a clear picture of Michael Myers. Even the French whatever is very small as compared to this, where it takes up a lot of space, and I really do not like it. Like, it takes up this much. It just says do. I don't really like the French that much. Going on to the spine, Halloween Kills on one side, and because we are in Canada, it says Halloween 2 in 2, I don't know, Halloween Kills in the other side of the spine, which is cool. I mean, if you're a French-speaking person, if you want to be, exclusively, you can have it facing one side and have an entire French language shelf. So that's pretty cool. On the back, you have a picture of Michael with flames back there. Just a bunch of product shots. A blurb of the movie, and the same bullshit. Oh, HDR, blah blah, with deeper, more lifelike colors, that kind of thing. And yeah, so that is the slipcover. When you take it out, it's basically the exact same thing. Nothing too interesting. And following with Halloween, the disc art is kind of lackluster. Just a picture of Michael Myers on the disc. Now, this is a modern day 4K release, so you're going to get a 4K Blu-ray as well as the standard Blu-ray and a digital code. All in total, this movie is around 106 minutes. It is about 4 minutes longer than the actual theatrical cut. Anyways, let's get into some tech specs. This is a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, 2160p, Dolby Vision HDR with HDR 10 plus, and my favorite thing, I am very happy to come to you to inform you that this movie has a 4K DI, which is amazing because the first Halloween wasn't even filmed I think it was filmed in 3.5 or something with a 2K DI. I'm glad to announce that this has a 4K DI, and it looks, I'll get into it more, but it's very sharp. The aspect ratio is 239:1, so you are going to get those black letter bars. And the audio is a Dolby Atmos track. So getting started, let's talk about the image quality. And boy, oh boy, is this a sharp looking movie. It is very sharp. You can tell from chapter 3. Chapter 3 was my favorite chapter out of all the scenes, out of all the chapters, because that's where it is demo quality, not in general, but like demo quality when it comes to this disc and displaying its quality. Great sharpness. Again, with that 4K DI, you're gonna get some amazing sharpness and amazing details, especially in the close-ups in chapter 3 when Tommy Doyle is giving that speech. There's a lot of close-up shots because he's talking about very traumatic things, and you can really tell that his eyes move. You can see the blood vessels in his eyes. You can see the sweat dripping down his face, and he has a buzz cut, so you can see like those growing hairs. You can see each individual hair follicle. Absolutely amazing. Wrinkles, everything looks great. The sharpness of this film is really good. Even his sweater, when you wear like a woolen sweater and you can kind of see the wool like popping out, you can see that in this movie, and it looks really great. There's so much there's a lot of detail in this film, and it's really welcome because I've been seeing a lot of 4Ks that kind of just half-ass with a 2K DI upscale, but because this is a 4K, again a 4K DI, it lends itself to a lot of amazing detail. With that 4K, with that amazing detail, it reminds me of that, I think it was from Family Guy or something like that, where there's like a skit where when TV turned to HD and all of the people had to start wearing makeup or whatever because it was too HD, so you had to cover up those imperfections.
And now the real reason to have an HD TV. And now, the Fox News 6 o'clock report with Rhonda Latimer in high definition.
Good evening, everyone, and I hope you're as thrilled about the new format change as I am.
Same with, not really, but, Jamie Lee Curtis, no offense, she's looking old in this film. The makeup team did a really good job in conveying her age. Wrinkles look really deep. She looks... I sound so rude, but she looks old in this film, and you can really tell the freckles and the turkey neck and everything. It looks great. It looks great. There's this one scene where they zoom into a TV, and there was like a smudge on the TV. It's so sharp, I literally thought my TV had a smudge on it. I had to get up and like wipe it down. I'm like, hey, that's not a smudge on my TV. That's a smudge on their TV. And there's like a smudge on the windows and all that stuff, and that looks really detailed. You can see the individual fingerprints and the lines. It looks absolutely great. Now, because there's a lot of practical effects in this film, the detail and the image quality really lends towards helping out and making these stunts and the kills, because I think there's like 40 kills. There's a lot of people who die in this film. It's called Halloween Kills for a reason, and a lot of people die, and a lot of it's practical. There's a couple CGI blood spurts, but for the most part, it's like actual squibs going off and actual practical effects. Like when I think it was Big John, Little John, someone gets their face smashed in. That looks absolutely brutal. All of the stunts and the practical work looks so good, and it gives you another sort of appreciation for this film because of how old school they went with the stunts, and with like this is like an old school horror schlocky film, and it really like a slasher schlocky film, and it really conveys with this 4K. It's just a grand old time. There's a lot of great image depth. This was filmed with a bunch of anamorphic lens and a lot of really good film lenses, so when you're seeing the back, it's very nice. The bokeh is very good, and the front image is very sharp. So discerning when it comes to depth is really nice. Editor's note, I forgot to mention the flashback scenes. The flashback scenes look really good. They kind of added this like film grain look to it, and when comparing it to the actual Halloween 1978 4K, it actually looks pretty similar. They were able to capture that feeling of 1978, and it looks really good. Even the HDR does well when it shows like Lonnie's red jacket. That looked really nice. So yeah, the flashback scenes look really good. Now we'll get into the HDR, and I think this is where it kind of lacks. Not lacks, but it doesn't have that much of a pop as the first Halloween 2018 film. This film looked absolutely amazing. I was rewatching this tonight to watch a double feature, and I was surprised on how well the colors look. The HDR looks really great on this Halloween 2018 4K. It looks good on this. It's just there's not that much of it. I mean, I don't know why I'm coming upon these new 4K films which don't have a huge color gamut to display their HDR-ness, their HDR goodness, except for No Time to Die. That was a great HDR demo-worthy video movie. But this, when it happens, again, when Chapter 3, HDR looks great. The reds especially are absolutely amazing. Because like that scene in Sicario when there's like a light shining, you can tell it's not just a blue overpass. In this case, it's a red. It doesn't feel like a red overpass. It feels like there's red here, but you can actually see the skin tone, and like that's another thing. The skin tone looks great. No one looks like a cold corpse. Everyone has the redness and blotchiness in their skin to actually discern whether they're a actual person. And that's without switching, BT 2020, like all those OLED type things. The color looks great when it shines. Again, skin tones look great. It's not even with pale skin. Even when the black sheriff, they got the cowboy hat, he has multiple tones in his face. HDR is really good when it comes to this film. It's just it doesn't have that huge color gamut, which lends itself to getting that demo-worthy badge on it, but it's still really good. Things like lights as well. Lights shine really nicely. Again, Chapter 3, that bar scene looks really good in HDR. The HDR pops, but just besides that, the red and blue cop lights, I love that. I mentioned that in my Mad Max review when the red and light pop with each other. That's really cool. So colors, the reds and blues look great. Blood also means Halloween Kills, so you got to have some good reds. And yeah, the reds look really nice, rich, and deep. You're not missing out when it comes to that. I could tell because when comparing it to the Blu-ray kind of had like a generic wash over of just red. But when it comes to the Halloween Kills 4K, it has that nice red, rich, tones of red and black. It feels like like actual blood. The standard Blu-ray just looks like fake paint, like fake blood red. Flames look really good. The flame depth. You know me, I love my explosions and I love my flames. When the house is burning down, you can see the different tones of oranges and yellows and reds. I say this in almost all my videos, but that's my biggest key when I'm looking at HDR and how well it does, is if you can see the richness and the depth of actual flames. Like that intro with the flames, it looks beautiful. Like, have you ever seen those dancers when they fly those like not paper mache, but those paper things, and they fly it around? That's what the flames look like, because there's so much detail in this 4K that it looked silky. Like the flames look silky. Like it's actually really nice. One of my gripes with the 4K is that there's a bit of inconsistency when it comes to the black levels. Again, to preface, I have a 4K OLED UHD TV. I have the newest model, the C1, the 65-inch OLED C1. So black levels have been really good. So when looking at the Halloween 4K, the black levels are, some of it's good. Like I know that scene where they go to the park when they stumble upon not Nancy, Alice, I don't know, but there's still detail to be found in darker scenes. When Michael appears, you can still see his charred mask and everything. But some of the times it's not inky black. Like there's inky black scenes, but there's also scenes where it kind of looks like the brightness has been turned up a notch, and it kind of takes away from the film, because there's some scenes where it has video noise, like not film grain, but video noise. And you can tell because the blacks don't look inky, it kind of looks grayish. Like the color of my shirt, it kind of looks like that. It looks a bit grayish. It doesn't look really inky black, but it doesn't take away from the detail, which is what I care about. But it's just that little gripe. The depth of color as well, that is one of my favorite things. Discerning there's certain scenes where there's multiple tones of colors, which can be easily viewed and easily seen and spotted, because I know when there's no HDR, it kind of just looks like, oh, there's a blue, there's a red, there's a this. But when like different colors are being shined on people's faces, you can see their original skin tone with the red overtones of their skin, as well as that light being shined, the color of their light. But then there's also like flames going on, or like a spotlight shining like a orangish or like a whitish LED, or not LED but a LCD, like a light, like a stoplight or whatever, or like a night light. You can see the whiteness, but then there's also redness and stuff. So it looks great. The color depth, like I don't think a lot of people talk about color depth when reviewing 4Ks. The color depth is really good. And going on to audio, it was a bit, it's okay. It's a good run-of-the-mill Dolby Atmos track. There is a great bass. I kind of laughed in certain points, like when Big John he took off his kimono. It's not a robe. It's definitely one of those like silky robes, not kimono, something like that, and it goes boom, and I'm like, oh geez, it kind of reminds me like of a Hans Zimmer track. It's like if Hans Zimmer did horror. I think he's done horror, but I'm not sure, but it reminded me of a Hans Zimmer track. So it is definitely going to work out the subwoofers and your sound system. When it comes to horror films, you need that nice soundtrack. There's nothing that really stood out to me as being amazing. It's a good Dolby Atmos track. It's not gonna blow you away like the original Halloween did, but there is moments where there's sounds, dialogue, everything is clear. I didn't have to worry about going, who said what? Everyone is heard, even with whispers and people grunting, everything is heard very clearly. Stabbing and just like all those like squishy and sharp noises do well when it comes to this audio track. So audio sounds great. right. It's just not the most impressive next thing, but for a horror film, for a slasher film, it does the job, and it's what a Dolby Atmos track is meant to do for these kind of films. So to recap, the sharpness is the best thing about this film. It is a sharp looking movie. HDR drags a little bit, but the black levels are okay. It's inconsistent, and sometimes there is video noise. Color depth is absolutely amazing. Flames look great, and the audio is okay. If I have to give them individual ratings, the visuals, the image quality is a 9 out of 10. This was so sharp. This kind of blew me away by how sharp this film was. I almost, is this made on film? Because it has a clean look. It's just there's a bit of video noise in certain scenes, like when Laurie's granddaughter is being interviewed in that very white, bright light. There is some video noise, but again, she has a very good. She's very sharp. There's a lot of good stuff in it, so I'm gonna give that a 9 out of 10. HDR is about a 7 out of 10, and the audio is about a 6.5, maybe a 6 out of 10. It just does the job. There's nothing, super, orgasmic about it. So overall, I would give this transfer of Halloween Kills on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray a 7 out of 10. It's still a good 4K. Did it change my experience when watching this movie again? Kind of. I mean, the stunts look really good in this 4K transfer. This was a better experience watching this on a 4K Blu-ray than watching this in the theater. Well, I mean, because there are shitheads in the movie theater talking and laughing throughout the entire thing. But I mean, besides that, just talking about video quality, this was a lot better. This is gonna be the best way to watch this film. I know a lot of people don't like it. It's a fun hour and 40 minutes. It doesn't take up that much of your time, and you can skip ahead of some certain scenes if you don't like. This was better paced than the original Halloween 2018, not the original 1978 movie, but I still do prefer the Halloween 2018 when it comes to HDR, because again, 4K is 4K. This is really sharp. It's just when it comes to HDR, it doesn't really provide you that really nice looking colorscape as compared to this one, which is kind of weird because don't they literally take place like right after each other? This doesn't really feel that Halloweeny, but this is a very Halloweeny movie. It gets you right in the mood. There's a lot of different lights and stuff in this movie which didn't really appear in this film. But yeah, 7 out of 10. And that was my review. Let me know down below what you guys think of Halloween Kills if you picked it up. I wish I had it on the steelbook because the steelbook looked really nice. But the slipcover still looks pretty good. So yeah, let me know down below. Did you guys pick up Halloween Kills on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray? Let me know down below. Did you like it? Did you like the transfer? Did you like the movie in general? I know a lot of people didn't like it. I thought it was a fun movie. It was a fun hour and 45 minutes. But yeah, that has been it. I am Mason from the Mockbuster YouTube channel. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the 4K reviews button or wherever it is. I have to get used to this. Wherever it is, click that review to see my other reviews. Again, I don't yell at you to like and comment before I even showed you what I'm about. This is who I am. I am the Mockbuster. I am Mason from the Mockbuster YouTube channel. If you wouldn't mind taking the time out of your day to watch a couple other videos, if you like hunting videos, if you like reviews, if you like Blu-ray hauls, I do all that stuff and more. So make sure to stay a while and hit that notification bell if you want to know the latest when I upload. And again, thank you for taking the time out of your day, night, evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching this, to watch little old me. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching the video, man. Please have a good day, night, evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Please stay safe and God bless. Cheers, guys. Evil does not die tonight.
Evil dies tonight.
Shake your